Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Robin Nielsen with Insulite Health, and this is Tuesday Tip PCOS. I'm so glad to be with you here today. So I'd love to hear where you're from. It's always so fun to see all the different parts of the United States and Canada and the world that you're joining in from. I love that. And I'm here in Capitola, California on the beach, in the coastal area, mid-state. And we actually had some rain yesterday, so we're very, very happy because, boy, do we need it. And from what we hear, we're going to get some more towards the later part of the week. So very excited about that. No tennis match for me, though, if that's the case. So we'll see. I can always use extra hanging out, that's for sure. Hi, Alice from Plymouth, Indiana. Welcome. It's so great to have you here. Yay. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. It's get off the fence, the PCOS success mindset. So this is near and dear to my heart because complaining and whining and always having the same story keeps us stuck. And, we're here because we want to get unstuck. So we're going to learn a lot more about how to change our mindset around so that we can have the health and the amazing life that we want. Sound good? Awesome. So let's see. Elizabeth, you have snow in the UK. Wow. Yeah, we have snow right here in California too. Where my son lives, there's snow. All right, so let's get started. So I want you to take a moment. So a lot of times when we're whining, when we're complaining, when we're kind of placing blame out there, right, for why we're still stuck with our health problems and maybe our life problems, because oftentimes our health issues go hand in hand with life issues. Do you kind of feel that or sense that sometimes? If your health isn't good, a lot of other things in your life aren't good either. So take a moment and let's, instead of, projecting out this way, let's go inside for a minute. And I want you to ask yourself some tough questions. Okay? You can even get a piece of paper. So what's holding you back from feeling well? I want you to think about that for a minute. What's holding you back from feeling well? I know for me, if I hear myself internally saying something more than once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, if I hear myself whining or complaining about the same thing over and over and over, then I kind of get mad at myself. Have you ever had that experience? I say to myself, what the heck? You've been complaining about that for a while now. Do something, right? Stop complaining. Do something. Because I know intrinsically that it holds me back, right? Holds me back from being my best self, from showing up in my best way. So specifically, I remember a time when, my whole life I complained about my weight. And I just remember I'd had 2 children and I was, so busy with my life. And I was driving home from work one day and I just grabbed that roll that was hanging over the top of my pants. And I said, that's it. I am tired of complaining about my weight. I'm tired of experiencing my weight. I'm so over this. So I sought out to do something about it. Now, there are 2 types of people. Right? There are those who are, there are probably more than 2 types, but I'm going to simplify it. So there are doers and there are knowledge seekers, right? So there is a book that was written called The Knowing Doing Gap that talks a lot about this. So believe me, if you've been complaining about things for a long time, it's because you're probably just not confident enough or not secure enough to make a decision. So I'm going to talk you into decision making during this program. That's what the whole program is about, decision making. So first, I just want to say hello to Michelle. So my question is how to stop self-blaming. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm just going to post this, how to stop self-blaming. Thank you, Michelle, for posting that, because that's something that really gets in the way. So we're going to touch on that a little bit during this program, and I'll see if I can't answer it a little bit more for you. And Alice Smith said, yes, definitely more often than not. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're going within now. So we're not placing blame anywhere, right? We're taking complete responsibility for our health and our lives right here, right now. So go ahead and let's put your hands over your heart, right in the middle of your chest. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. So let's just breathe in through our heart. Whew, and then breathe out as if you were breathing out right through your heart. So that'll just help to get you connected to your heart center, because our heart is really our true brain. Our heart is really our true brain. And women are so blessed to be able to connect into that. But sometimes our lives get so busy that we can no longer hear our heart, right? Our intuition sort of gets quieted. It gets dulled. If we don't use it, we lose it. So today I want to help you get reconnected to your intuition, right? To your heart, because that is going to help you move forward in your health and in your life, right? Which is what we all need. All right. So one more question for you. Have you decided on a path to help you get your health and life on track for success? So these are two questions, and you can post the answers if you want. You're so welcome to do that, or you can just write them down for yourself. So the first question was, what's holding you back from feeling well? If you really think about it, what are those things that are holding you back? Okay. And mostly it's going to come down to mindset. That's the biggest thing. And then secondly, have you decided on a path to help you get your health and your life on track for success? Okay. And if not, if you haven't decided on something, why not? Okay. So now I'm going to share some concepts with you. So on the fence, I'm going to give you the definition. I love that whole concept of being on the fence, because I had I'm a pretty good decision maker. I'm a really good decision maker, but I've had some times in my life when I wasn't sure if I wanted to go in that direction anymore. And comes to mind in relationship for me. And what I realized is that I couldn't be on the fence about it. Like I had to make a decision. Because if you're on the fence, you're stuck. So here's the definition. If you're on the fence, you can't decide something. You're torn between two options. So for instance, if you're standing at the ice cream counter, not sure if you should get chocolate or vanilla, you're on the fence. So being on the fence means that you just really cannot decide. Okay? And what that means is that your energy gets completely zapped. It kind of just sucks the life force right out of you when you cannot make a decision, when you cannot move forward. I'm going to share all about that in the program now. So you're here today because you may be searching for an answer to your health symptoms. Is that right? And knowledge can be powerful. So just by showing up here right now, it's a really big deal. You know, I applaud you for showing up. Because just by showing up, you're already helping your genes express themselves in a different way and for the better, for improved health. And that's fabulous, right? We want fabulous. But knowledge in and of itself doesn't get you anywhere, right? So we're going to talk more about that. Remember, it's the knowing, doing gap. You can't just be a researcher. You actually have to take action. All right, so here's a little equation. I'm going to type it out here, or here I can probably just go like this. So knowledge plus the right action equals powerful change. Powerful change. So another thing that can really help you with decision making is to really understand what your big why is. Your big why. So if you have a big why do you want to feel well? Why do you want to have good energy? Why do you want to look fabulous? Why do you want to stop having a heavy period? Why do you want to get a regular menstrual cycle? Why do you want to stop having hot flashes? Why do you want the acne to go away? Why do you want clear, beautiful skin? You know, why do you want to stop the facial hair growth, right? Why do you want all these icky health symptoms to go away? Why do you want more energy? So when you really figure out your big why, like why do you want to live an amazing life? Then you're much more motivated to make a decision, okay? So think about what your big why is and feel free to post it here if you want, okay? All right, so I want to share what powerful change looks like for a minute because, you know, whenever we're trying to heal our bodies, it takes some big, powerful change. It's not something that just happens overnight. It really takes some big decision making, and it takes some big changes in habits, because if we do the same habits, we get the same results, right? So I'm going to post that real quick. Same habits equals the same results. So we've got to change our habits if we want different results. And that can take a lot of work. That can be hard, right? That's why your big why is really important. So powerful change looks something like this. A seed, a tiny seed that grows into a flower. That's some pretty powerful change, right? A tiny seed that grows into a beautiful flower. A caterpillar that turns into a butterfly. Huge change, right? Coming out of that chrysalis is a big deal. It takes some pretty major struggle, right? An acorn to a mighty oak tree, right? Same thing, some profound change. So Jamie posted, my why is to help balance my hormones to live a long life filled with love. Oh, that's so beautiful. So you want to be well and feel great because you want to live a long life filled with love. And what's the point of living a long life if you feel like crap, right? I mean, oh my gosh, I have seen so many people in my life who are older who feel terrible, right? They're just existing. They're barely getting by. They don't really want to still be here. And what's the point of that, right? So we not only want to live a long life, but we want to feel good while we're doing it. So there is a concept called the blue zones. And the blue zones are those communities around the world who live longer and healthier than anyone else. And what's interesting is that we have a blue zone here in California, and it's actually in an area where the perchlorate level, which is an icky chemical that causes all sorts of problems in the human body, is higher than I think anywhere else in California in the water. So the perchlorate, this nasty chemical, is in really high amounts in the water in this one blue zone area. but the people live longer and healthier than the average person anywhere else in the world. And so there's certain things that this community does that helps them accomplish that, right? So we can overcome these adversities if we have these powerful habits, right? They're not eating that much better than other people, but they are eating differently, right? They have things, this list of things that help us to live longer and healthier. And that's what Insulite is all about. That's what the 5% solution is all about. And that's why we want to live healthier if we're going to live longer, right? Because otherwise life really sucks. So thanks so much, Jamie, for sharing that. I love that. And, if you're filled with love, you are healthier. Because when you don't feel well, it's really hard to find love. It's really hard to be in a place of love. So I like that. I think it covers a lot of bases there. So if you live a long life filled with love, you are healthy. Way to go, girl. So the mind is a powerful thing. It can stimulate healing or block it, right? It can manifest physical symptoms due to mental thoughts, or it can make those symptoms seem much less or even make them disappear. So I have a really great example. Sometimes when I'm playing my tennis matches, I really don't play singles much anymore because it's so hard, right? It's quite a strenuous activity, but I have to once in a while because we don't have other players on the team who can play singles. So sometimes I run out of energy. And I know that I can't win the match if I don't have energy. And I don't really have tools that will just magically give me energy, although I have some, right? So it's really a mindset, right? When I get tired, it's more of a mindset than anything else. So what I tell myself is I tell myself over and over and over, you have amazing energy. You have great energy. You have amazing energy. And I just keep saying it over and over and over. And it's incredible. Like within, 15 to 20 minutes, like my energy is amazing. And I have to be careful. I have to stop saying my little mantra or I'm going to get anxious, right? Because I want to be right in that focused, energetic zone. So our mind is super powerful. And that's part of what keeps us stuck is what's going on in our minds. And I'm going to share a couple of things with you towards the end of our program today that will really help you to understand that better. A couple of little passages that are pretty amazing. So analysis paralysis, I wanted to talk about that for a minute because that definitely keeps us on the fence, right? And, how many of you can relate to analysis paralysis, where you just can't make a decision? You keep researching. Maybe you've gone to buy a dishwasher and you just can't decide which one, and you keep doing the research. You look at consumer reports, you look at the pricing, you look at the ratings, you ask your friends, and you just can't make a decision. So you've lived with the old dishwasher, or maybe your dishwasher's broken and you just have to hand wash the dishes. So you're living with kind of this energy suck because you can't make a decision. So, these days we have access to so much information and it helps us make decisions, but it hasn't made decision making any easier. So, we can now research the pros and cons of each and every option available to us because we just go on Google, right? Or we post a question to all of our friends on Facebook or wherever it is. And of course, a simple query on Google can often open a time-sucking black hole, right? Of clicking one link after another. So, if you're in our community, you may have done this with PCOS. You just keep looking and you keep searching. Right? And what have you found so far and what really resonates with you? That's a true question. Like what in your research has really resonated with you? So you can write that down because you want to go back to that. So, it can make us more confused than ever as to what the right action is. So although we have a lot of great information, we're more confused, right? Because everything has its pros and cons. So it's interesting, psychologist Barry Schwartz coined the phrase paradox of choice. So some of our most powerful leaders, they limit the decision-making that they have to do every day by, for instance, wearing the same uniform every day. And I believe Barack Obama is one of those people, right? He has the same suit, the same white shirt, the same tie, and the same shoes, but he has just 7 of them, right? Maybe. So 7 suits that are exactly the same, 7 of the same white shirts, 7 of the same pair of shoes, or maybe just a couple of the same pair of shoes, so that he wears the same thing every day. One of my amazing mentors, they're relationship coaches that are absolutely phenomenal. If you ever need a relationship coach, let me know. I had the privilege, my husband and I have the privilege of spending some time with them. They wear the same outfit every day. Now, to you and me, that might seem boring, but for them, it makes life super easy, right? It's one less decision that they have to make. And keep in mind, every decision takes energy. And if you're low in energy right now, that can be hard, right? Because you need that energy to heal. So the paradox of choice paradox of choice, what it means is while increased choice allows us to achieve objectively better results, it also leads to greater anxiety, indecision, paralysis, and dissatisfaction. So rather than empowering us to make better choices, our virtually unlimited access to information often leads to greater fear of making the wrong decision, right? And sometimes our confidence is so low already, right? We don't want to make another bad decision, right? Which in turn leads us to spinning our wheels in a seemingly inescapable purgatory of analysis paralysis, all the while getting nowhere on improving your health and your life. So too much choice is stressful, and overthinking eats up your willpower and makes you less happy, okay? I'm going to post this. So too much choice is stressful, and overthinking eats up your willpower and makes you less happy. And that's a lot of us with PCOS, right? We're just overwhelmed. We have low or no willpower, and we're not happy. Sound familiar? So have you ever heard the phrase, indecision killed the cat? And indecision killed the cat, right? So in my world, when I was driving on my country roads year after year after year, it was indecision killed the squirrel. Because if the squirrel ran in front of me and I couldn't decide which way to go, oftentimes I hit the squirrel, right? Indecision killed the cat. So if you want to be well, feel well, live your most fabulous life, you have to make a decision. Sound good? Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you some basic rules or some tenets about decision making, and then I'm going to give you a few next steps, okay? So 1, we have to stop whining, okay? So whining perpetuates more whining and will keep you stuck. Does that make sense? So whining is complaining. So if you find yourself complaining, you have to stop. Because complaining means that you're putting the blame out there somewhere. You're putting the blame on someone else, something else, but you're not taking ownership. So from this day forward, take ownership. You have all the power to heal yourself. No one else can do it for you. I don't care what doctor you go to. I don't care what functional medicine person you go to. I don't care if you listen to me or anyone else in the health space. Only you have the power to heal yourself, right? By taking action. That's the only way. You have to take action. So no more whining, no more complaining. If you find yourself doing that, stop and turn it around, right? So like me, I was complaining that I was too fat. Like, I'm so tired of being too fat. I'm so sick of this roll over my pants, right? I'm so tired of my pants fitting so tight. I've had enough, right? And so what I said to myself is, okay, then do something, right? I could have placed blame on my kids or my husband or the fact that I'm too busy to cook or whatever it is, but I didn't. I said, I'm going to figure this out. So be in the I'm going to figure it out space instead of the complaining space. All you have to know is what you want, and the teacher will appear, right? So when you're ready, the teacher will appear. Don't you love that saying? Let me put that up. When you're ready, the teacher will appear. That's the best. And, you know, I read something that I had written a little while ago, and it was around a song that I wrote and sang, and my sons actually helped me with it. It's called You Are the Magic, and I'd love for you to listen to it and believe it. In fact, let me give you the link to it right now. And there is a music video that goes with this, but let me just put it in the comments, actually, so you can click on it. There is a music video, but for right now, you can just listen to the song. So I want you to make sure that that you believe it, right? So if you, plus the song is so fun. If you sing and dance to it and sort of take your power back, it'll help you with decision making. It'll help you move forward, because that's what the song was all about. So basically, getting back to my thought process here is you have all the power to heal. So take responsibility and embrace some of these tenets I'm going to share. So the first one was stop whining, stop complaining. No matter how much you might want to whine and complain, resist the urge. So complaining means, all it means is that you have not made a decision to be or do something different. You're placing blame outside of yourself. That's all that means. And what I'd like to share about that is that don't place blame on yourself. Don't start the negative self-talk like I'm bad for doing this, or I'm an idiot, or whatever the stuff is that comes up for you, right? Like the self-blaming that Michelle was talking about. So the self-blaming is, I'm going to post a great article for you, Michelle, that really helps with that, because it's like that inner child, you know, coming out, sort of resisting and fighting, you know, with you. And the blaming just keeps you stuck. So we just have to turn that around when you feel the blaming start to come up, and you have to just acknowledge it, let it go, and then turn it around and say something really empowering to yourself. That's why I love those 3 words. Like, what are 3 words that you want to embody every day? And then you can just look at those 3 words. You can write them on your bathroom mirror, write them on a sticky note, put it on your computer, put it on the refrigerator, wherever you're going to see them on a regular basis. And then when you know, that self-blaming comes up, that negative Nelly on your shoulder that we want to whack off our shoulder, you can just look at your 3 words and say those instead over and over and over, right? The other thing about blame is that it's kind of a cop-out. So if you're blaming yourself, you're kind of saying that it's kind of a weird twist on things, but you're kind of saying that it's okay that you're stuck. So if you're blaming yourself for your situation, you're providing an excuse as to why you're stuck. So we have to be really aware of this. Like, we have to remove those things. We have to sort of peel away the layers of the onion that are protecting us, right? We have to find our vulnerable place. We have to show up full out. We have to be our true, authentic selves. We have to take ownership where we need to. You can say, yeah, okay, I get it. It's my fault I'm here, but I also can fix it, right? I can fix it. So there's a difference, I think, between blame, negativity. You just have to know that you can fix it, which you can. You totally can. Okay, so number 2 is you want to limit the amount of information that you consume. Limit the amount of information you consume. That's number 2. Number 2 of my tenets for getting off the fence. So to do this, you might need to set a deadline to make a decision. So that's number 3. Set a deadline to make a decision. Okay. So what's coming up for you when I'm sharing some of this stuff? I'd love for you to post it here. What ahas are you thinking about? Is there anything that I've shared so far that you're like, yeah, I'm going to do that, right? Or I'm going to stop doing this. Or now I know that I have the power, so I can do it, right? I mean, Nike, right? Nike has the tagline, just do it. Right? Because if you don't just do it, you'll never get there. Right? Just do it. We always have 1,000,001 excuses why we can't. Right? Think of one why you can, and then do it. All right, number 4, you want to get out of your own head and talk to someone else about it. Be accountable to someone else. So when you verbalize something, now you're sending it off to the universe, right? The universe is kind of holding you accountable, saying, okay, I hear you. I hear you. Let's make this happen. All right. So number 5, this is a really cool one. I love this one. So I want you to start before you're ready. What you have right now is enough to move forward. Just do it. So my husband used to say that I am a ready, set, aim person. Is that right? Yeah. Ready, set, aim? Yeah. That I get it backwards. Like, I do things before I'm ready, which is not completely true, because I find that I'm stuck in analysis paralysis a lot of the time. I don't want to make a mistake. I want to hit the mark the first time, but I think I've gotten better with that over the years. But I think he says that because he has analysis paralysis. He can research until the cows come home or until they don't come home, but he won't make a decision. Like, he won't move forward. He won't just do it. So you kind of have to know, like, are you the researcher or are you the doer? And if you're the researcher, you've got to take that leap, right? Jump the canyon, as Tana Amen says, the beautiful wife of Dr. Daniel Amen. Jump the canyon and just do it. So I've heard, a lot of talk over the years, and about marriage, about starting a family, right? What are some other big decisions that we have to make? And, you hear people say, well, I'm not quite ready, and there's never the right time. to get married. There's never the right time to start a family. Just do it, right? Just do it. You're ready. All right, number 6. And you're ready to take charge of your health right now. You don't need any more information. Just do it. You know what you want to do and do it. So this is number 6. Make your decision the right one. I love this. It's often our confidence. Let's see. So it's often our confidence in and commitment to our decisions that determine whether they're the right ones in the end. So when you're faced with a difficult decision, ask yourself which option you'll be more motivated to make succeed, right? So it looks like, let me just finish this, because it looks like it only posted part of it. So I'm going to put the rest of it up there. All right, so make your decision the right one. It's often our confidence in and commitment to our decisions that determine whether they are the right ones in the end. So when faced with a difficult decision, ask yourself which option you'll be more motivated to make succeed, okay? So it's up to you whether it becomes the right decision or not. Just commit to whatever decision you make. Commit 100%, give 100%. Give 120%. Make it the right decision. Okay? Promise me? Whatever decision you make is the right decision. Just commit. Cool. All right. So number 7. When you make a decision, you cultivate confidence. Like, this is one of my favorite ones too. The more decisive you are, the more confidence you'll have. Okay? So let me put the rest up. So the more decisive you are, the more confidence you'll have. So let's see, Michelle, you can stop the self-blaming by just making decisions, right? Just start making some decisions. Then you won't have any time to blame. You know, my niece, I talked to her today and she's getting married. Oh my gosh, in a week from Saturday. It's coming up so fast. She's been planning this, of course, for over a year. And I was talking to her today and I said, well, are you getting nervous at all? Or are you worried, or what feelings are coming up for you? She says, oh no, I've been too busy, right? I've been too busy finishing up the details. I've been really busy at work. I have to take a couple days off. So making sure that that all gets ready for the substitute who's going to take over. So, you know, she's organized around it. And of course, on that day or the day before, she's going to be nervous, and probably nervous only because there's so many details for a wedding. But it's a beautiful moment that she's waited a lot of her life to participate in. So, yeah, the more decisions you make, the more confidence you'll have. So make decisions. I empower you. I'm going to put that up. Make decisions right now. So I empower you to make decisions right now. Yes. All right. And then the last tenet, well, it's more of a question, right? Is your body is your temple. If you don't take care of your body, where will you live? That's a big question. Your body is your temple. If you don't take care of your body, where will you live? So make a decision for your health, okay? Make a decision. So here are a couple of next steps. So I want you, again, this is kind of going back to your big why. I want you to figure out what you want for yourself. So make a list of all those cool things that you want, large and small. Make a list of all of your heart desires, things that you want, the house that you want, the car that you want, the clothes that you want, the man that you want, the relationships that you want, the adventures that you want, how you want to feel when you do these things. How does it feel when you get the house of your dreams? How do you feel when you have lots of energy? How do you feel when you're, all sexy and all that? How do you feel when you're confident in making decisions, right? Think big, make this list amazing. You can even do a vision board, put pictures with it. And then you can look at it all the time. That's the first thing, because that's going to drive your decision making. That's going to lead you to feel like the confident woman you are. All right. And then the next thing is, what is one thing? Let's see. Hold on. Okay. And then the last is, what is one thing you can do right now that will move you closer to being well? You can post that here if you want. What's one thing that you can do right now that moves you closer to reaching your health goals? Because I know if you reach your health goals, you will reach your life goals. Oh, that feels so good, right? So I'm going to say, reaching health goals equals reaching life goals. So if you don't have your health, you don't have anything, right? You just don't have the motivation, you don't have the energy, you don't have the brain power, you don't have anything to help you do all the fabulous things that you want to do in your life. Okay, so it's one thing that you can do right now that's going to move you closer to your health goals. So I'm not talking about doing research. You know what they are. I'm talking about the one thing you can do. Okay? Remember the just do it? One thing you can do right now. All right. Are there any questions that you have around this topic? I'd love to hear your questions. Like, what have you learned? What's that one thing you're going to do? If you just like this program, that would be fabulous. That would be one thing you could do, right? What else could you do to reach your health goals? All right, well, you can post here anytime. You can ask questions anytime. So if any questions come up for you around this program, just post them here. I'll be sure to get back to them and answer them for you. I know that this isn't the sexiest of topics. Like, we'd rather talk about, how to get our cycle regular or how to get pregnant or, things like that. But if we don't have the mindset, we can't do any of those other things. So really encourage your girlfriends to listen to this program and to be your accountability buddy, right? And to list your big why together, to hold each other accountable, to set a date, to make your decisions. Just do those few steps and listen to this again so that you can write them down. And I think this will just transform your life, right? We want to be that caterpillar to butterfly or the seed to flower. We really want to become this free, beautiful being that lives the life she wants. All right. I wish that for you. Take care, and I'll see you again next week. Bye, everyone.